like Benson, I'm a who that.
I'm a who that.
Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a Falcon. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Running like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, but we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. What's up, Who Dat Nation? We up in this thing. Shout out to the great Saint Tank. We up in the building. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all joining me for another happy installment of the Sports Coma. Even though the Saints stink right now, man. We haven't been this bad since the 2005 season when the Saints went 3-13 prior to Drew Brees and Coach Sean Payton joining the franchise. And we ushered in a golden age in the Who Dat Nation. Now we're under it ain't even metallic anymore. It's whatever, it's sub-metallic. But it'll be a short-lived non-metallic situation. So shout out to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all being up in the stream. Much love to the fam. Appreciate you guys and all that you do. We in this thing, and listen, if we gonna suffer, man, we suffering, but we suffering together, man. So shout out to the Who Dat Nation, man. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you share the show's links on your social media feed. We up in this thing. I'm not going to keep you guys very long on this Thursday episode of the Coma. We got On Cue with Big Q. I'm going to do tonight covering the Deion Sanders situation. I was going to do a TSC Unleashed on it, but I think it'll work on the On Cue with Big Q. I wanted to get some synopsis on, drop some science with it with some of the family members and see what they think about that thing. So we'll do that tonight on TSC Unleashed on our Patreon channel. So if you guys want to be a part of that, please feel free to join the Patreon and you'll get all the TSC Unleashed shows. We're going to do some other shows and stuff in the upcoming year. I'll have a lot more time, and we got some stuff that I'm going to roll out in the next week or so that I'm going to get the entire Who Dat Nation and the family members to participate in for the advancement of the platform. It's big business we got talking about, and I'm not going to talk too much about it. But we working on some stuff. Let me tell you something. You know your boy a businessman. So we're going to keep this thing twisting, shaking, and moving on all fronts. This one's called Falcons star rookie QB Desmond Ridder versus the Saints. And, of course, we know we are off this week, and we've been off the entire damn season, to be honest with you. But the Saints are in the bye, and they're so bad they'll probably get beat by the bye. That's how bad the Saints they're so bad they'll get beat by the bye. But anyway, we're going to cover a few things up in this thing. We'll talk about that information. We'll go over a couple of some pieces, some articles, and then we'll move on out, and I'll go on over to Patreon for our TSC. Our On Cue with Big Q show. Like I said, we'll be talking about Dennis Allen on there. Not Dennis Allen. It's Deion Sanders. Big difference between Deion Sanders and Dennis Allen, obviously. One's motivated and a hell of a coach, and the other one is just whatever. He's not even a world-class janitor. He's the bottom of the barrel. That's what the hell he is as a head coach anyway. So anyway, family, please feel free to hit the like button. Let me give a few shots out before we get going in the stream. Shout out to my dog, Trey Joseph. Shout out to you, Elite. Big ups to you, Josh Goat 23, Ant-Man, OG Jerry Paws in this thing, 504 Cole, Tro Blewett. Good to see you in there, fam. Much love to you, 504 Cole. Who else we got? Brother Tano is in this thing. Shout out to you as well. OG to the third degree is in the building. Much love, fam. Brother Daniel Burton is in this thing. Ro, I see you, Ro is in this thing. Much love to Rose City. Much love. Who else? What's up, Dana? Shout out to the Queen. Dana's in this thing. My dog, GM Kev. Much love, bro. Appreciate you being up in this thing as well. All right, Gundam. What's up, bro? Shout out to my dog, Gundam, in this thing. Reginald, who that to you, fam? Much love to you. Brother Tremal's in this thing. Shout out to you. What's up, Lori? Who that to you, Queen? Appreciate Lori being up in this thing. All right. Shout out to you as well. And appreciate everybody, man. Please feel free to hit the like button, family. All right. So with that being said, fam, let me hop on it. Shout out. What's up, KT? My dog, KC. KT's in this thing. Shout out. Yeah. Okay, cool. Will is engaged. All right. Shout out and congratulations to Will, man. Tell him I said congratulations there, KT, on this engagement, man. Shout out to that brother. All right, Pam and Wham, shout out to you, Queen. She says, hey, Q, who that family? Desmond's going to be an issue. We don't deal. Yes, you are most certainly intelligent. I was given the Pelican postgame report, women shots out because, listen, they be dropping the science. We talking Lexa and Pammy, and that's a lot of great brains over there. And we got some of the most, and I'm proud of the Great Saint Think Tank. I take pride in, we have a great collection of people that's just very knowledgeable on life, sports, and saints and everything, man. And I'm just fortunate to have some of the smartest who-dats out there in the hemisphere, man, to be quite honest with you. So I'm really proud to know you guys and to be, conversing with you guys on streams with matters like this, man, and just great commentary about Desmond Ridder. Yeah, you're right. We don't do well against scrambling quarterbacks, and we don't do well with quarterbacks that are just starting out. Ryan Pickett was one of the worst quarterbacks in the game, but he beat the Saints. He got his mojo going against the Saints. And I remember when RG3, when he first stepped out there, he had success against them. And that's just a historical thing. When we put these young quarterbacks out there, we tend to struggle with them. And then with them doing that now, throws the Saints a bit of a curveball because the Saints struggled with Marcus Mariota. We knew at some point that they would move from Mariota to Desmond Ridder. I thought it would be a lot earlier than what it is, but the Falcons need a jolt. They need a jolt, and they doing what most smart teams do when they need a jolt at the top of the team. They switch quarterbacks. So what's your goddamn problem, New Orleans Saints? What's your problem? Who that nation? What's wrong with you guys? You don't want a jolt in your offense. You don't want somebody that's going to jolt the offense and, my goodness, contribute to you actually winning some games. You don't want that. How dare you think that you want to change at the quarterback position? How dare you want that? After your defense held the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week scoreless all the way up to a blessed 4 minutes. I think it was 3 minutes or some change. I say 4 just to stretch it out a bit, but 4 minutes of the game. So you play well for 56 minutes, and then 4 minutes, you give up 2 touchdowns to lose by 1, and the defense is supposed to be the strength of the team. And then when people tell you that, your response is, I don't, see why we need to make a change or, whatever. Your team just imploded. How dare you want to change? Lord help us, And I mentioned the golden era of Saint football. You just need a competent coach, man. We need somebody that won't take the ship and run it into the first iceberg you see out on open ocean waters. And this is what this guy is. This guy steers with his back. He steers backwards, man. He does everything he could to sink the team and just no, we're fine. We're really fine. Well, I like our offense. We just need to be more consistent. How about this dime piece that he dropped several games ago when it was asking about all the interceptions that Andy Dalton was throwing at halftime? Well, I just told him to keep doing what he been doing. What? Yeah, just keep throwing interceptions. We trying to stop. We're not trying to get the playoffs, and just keep doing what you're doing, Andy Dalton. Just run the ship into the nearest iceberg. I mean, it's insane, man. All right, so shout out to the fam, man. Y'all, appreciate y'all being up in this thing. 504 says, Q, I think we should grab Hooker from Tennessee if he's there in a second. Well, first and foremost, bro, notice, and I know that Kev has been always promoting me, Q, this, that, third, we ain't going nowhere. Bring on the draft talk. Kev's in here. You always saying, Q, we need to bring the draft talk. And I always say, Kevin, bro, I'm talking football. Bro, the season ain't over with, yada, yada, yada. And in the past, that was correct. We always had a fight, but this is obvious. This is one of those things where you're looking at it, it's very obvious. How this is going to end up is very obvious because the guy is so predictable in what he's doing and he refuses to change, even though he should change. So the only way he does change anything if pressure from the top of the organization upon him. And I think they should have been talked to him and wrangled him in. And now your team sit up here at 4-9. And they're basically, they're not mathematically eliminated, but spiritually, physically, and mentally, they're already eliminated. We know it, you know it, and I know it. Everybody know it. All right. So, yeah, even if you mentioned that 504 code, but even if we do get Hayden Hooker, who's going to teach him something? Carmichael? Dennis Allen? Any talent you get, like we gave up first-round draft pick to move up there and get wide receiver Chris Olave, who's been an absolute stud. So when we asked where the first-round draft picks, you gave it up to go and get Chris Olave, which was a great move, by the way. The trade that sent Chauncey Gardner-Johnson out, that's on the other end of the spectrum. But the one that we gave up picks to go and get Chris Olave, that was a bargain. We got Chris Olave. That was a hell of a move. Problem is, if you bring in a quarterback, who's gonna teach him something? Dennis Allen. So anyway, it's one of the things, man. So I guess at some point over the next week or two, I'm gonna start doing some draft content to make GM Kev and several dozen other family members happy about looking at the draft now. Say, Q, can we do the draft now? Yes, sir, we can officially start doing it. I shall start doing draft content and looking at the draft as of this week. So we're gonna start looking at some stuff as well. So shout out to the fam, man. Gundam, shout out to your fam. Says start Jameis ASAP so this man can get tape and fair evaluation. Yeah, I know it's none of that's going on, bro. None of that's going on because at this point you should be pulling out all of the stops. And really, if a visionary would have started Jameis Winston 2 games ago against the San Francisco 49ers, he would have won at least one of those games. He wouldn't have lost both of them. He'd have won at least one of them, possibly 2 of them. You only needed 2 touchdowns. In the matchup against the 49ers. And with his ability to stretch defenses, that would have created opportunities for Alvin Kamara underneath. And what the defenses simply are, they're crowding the offensive the offensive line or the line of scrimmage, and they don't respect Andy Dalton's ability to throw the deep ball. So we stay around that line of scrimmage, and if Alvin Kamara comes up, we blitz gap, we do what we got to do and wrangle him. And teams over the last couple of weeks have done a very good job of stopping Alvin Kamara. Not only that, but since Eric McCoy's been out, the Saints offensive line hasn't been able to do much of a push interiorly speaking either. So that has to be evaluated and looking forward. But who would do the evaluations? Dennis Allen? It's just you still had enough talent to do it. And now at this point, you're seeing a lot of the psyche of the team starting to break apart. When the reality that the season is over with for them, you're starting to see a lot of that hit the players. And as you see that, you'll see some players, kind of fold into themselves. They'll start to implode psychologically. And they realize that, hey, man, we out of this thing. We had an opportunity and we squandered it. So it's crazy. Daniel says, how do you think we're going to do in the next game? Next game against the Falcons is, I think the Saints are going to play a very competitive game, and they should beat the Falcons. But remember, the Falcons, you beat the Falcons in week 1, where Jameis Winston came back in the fourth quarter and scored, 17 points to take the game from the Falcons. You think the Falcons are gonna lose with the Saints? People really think we're gonna blank the Falcons? We're gonna sweep the Falcons this year? The Saints are not capable of sweeping anybody. They can't consistently do anything positive. And the defense imploding was the last bit of morsel of self-respect the team had. And I mentioned, like, when you look at the teams, and we're going to get into the articles, but when you look at the team and you look at the players and things that players can do outside of listening to the coach is coach themselves or govern themselves. You got, veteran leadership like Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, those guys there. But at the end of the day, these men, they didn't call out the player-only meetings. They didn't have any player-only meetings. Hell, when the Saints were, 3 weeks or 4 weeks, a month ago, we were sounding the alarm saying, watch out, there's a huge iceberg up ahead, iceberg ahead. And they just sitting up there playing opera music and singing and smoking them funny long-ass Hollywood cigars and just saying, oh, this guy is, no, we got it. We all positive vibes. And then next thing you know, you're sitting up here at 4-9. You see? And they just this whole year was very weird. The team had a real weird spell around it. Like they didn't take anything seriously until it was serious to be taken serious. You get what I'm saying? It's like not seeing like, bro, I've been on this way before. We headed for disaster. We got to wake up. And then other guys started warning other guys to wake up and change the culture. Because, we doing stuff. You're in these games, you're making all these mistakes. Guys not getting on other guys. Even if the coaches are not true leaders of the team are going to lead regardless if you got a dumb coach or not. They're going to do what they do because that's by habit. That's what they've been doing. And we simply did not see that. And we were sounding the alarm the whole damn time. And these players talking about believe in us, just ride with us. What, ride with you down into the goddamn icy deep? Jawan Johnson and all these dudes dropping passes in previous matchups or just believe and ride with us. No, dog. It's not about belief, man. It's about you got to know. I keep telling people, keep telling you the same thing, that you should know. No. You should know. Thank you, Tramal. Shout out to you, bro. It says, Q, will you cover the racquetball? Possibly, maybe. Possibly. You might do a little racquetball tournament, a little pool tournament. There you go, brother. Thank you, all. But listen, I'm just saying at the end of the day, when you know how things are supposed to end, and if you're a leader, you can see where this is going. And you would know if you see mistakes out there, guys that's making mistakes, you would check them. The problem was like, Q, why would they not do that? Why would they, the leaders of the team, not checking the guys that wasn't making the plays? Well, the reason for that is quite simple, my friends. And that reason is because the leaders of the team was making the mistakes. So how you going to tell him to stop doing what he doing when you over here missing tackles? When you over here blowing assignments? How is Tyrann Mathieu going to tell any of these young defensive backs what they did wrong? What he wrong when he doing the most wrong? You see, how's Demario Davis going to tell linebackers about missing tackles when he was missing tackles? You see, when he was getting pushed out on plays when people were running directly at him. You see, Cam Jordan, can he say anything? If Cam's not getting sacks, he's getting pushed around. He can't say anything because he'll be seen as a hypocrite. Alvin Kamara couldn't tell him nothing, because he fumbling the ball. You see, you see how this work? So no. So no, none of this. They could not say, they couldn't open their mouths up and say anything to anybody because you screwing up. What could Ryan Ramczyk tell Kelvin Throckmorton when he up there backpedaling into his stance and false starting his ass off on 3rd and 4th down? What could he tell him? You can't tell them people a damn thing. You just button your mouth and keep running. You can't tell them nothing, you see? And then the ultimate leader of the team is the quarterback, who the coach took care of that for you. The coach been neutralized Jameis Winston, took him out of the equation and put a backup in there that doesn't have half of his leadership ability. Most certainly don't even have half of his deep throwing ability. And that's one of the best things that Jameis brings to the Saints is his deep and accurate deep ball that he throws down the field to stretch out defenses. If Jameis is out there, opposing teams respects Jameis's deep ball and they play off him, which provides space around the line of scrimmage for the Saints satellite back like Alvin Kamara or Sarah Kirk Merritt to operate. See, that's the whole thing. If you don't have the deep balls, defense can crowd around the line and it can make it very difficult for you. And we've seen how that look over the last couple of weeks. So it's not, astrophysics or rocket scientists or even advanced calculus. It's football and it's supposed to be simple. And the reason why these guys are not getting it together is because I don't know. I can't tell you. It's really crazy. Anyway, shout out to the fam, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Hit the like button for your boy. Please feel free to share the links on your social media. I'm talking to the fam. 504-6Q, I think Debo would be a heck of a safety or nickel. Taylor is clearly a better outside cornerback. What you think? I think when the Saints drafted Alontae Taylor, they seen him as a nickel guy, and perhaps at some point, because the game plan when they drafted, and I'm gonna go over to Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, because they kind of, when you talk about Alontae Taylor and his role, you know, it kind of overlaps with what they seen with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. See, the Saints, when they drafted Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in the 4th round out of Florida, he was playing a nickel position, and he played some nickel and played safety in Florida. But Dennis Allen fell in love with him at the nickel position because he did something so well. He had a safety mindset or linebacker mindset playing the cornerback position. He would blitz in there. He was a tremendous and excellent tackler. He loved physicality. He would blitz in there. He was really intelligent and good at what he did from that nickel position. And then he could play the safety position. So he had dual application. And the Saints were a bit short-sighted to not give him the extra $4 million because he's a dual application player, and that $4 million would, you know, justify itself. So at some early on, he was supposed to eventually go to the safety position once Malcolm Jenkins retired. But, you know, Alontae Taylor was brought in not only just to provide depth to the secondary, but Alontae was meant, he's a 2nd round guy. He actually, the Saints was targeting, what's his name, family, help me out. I scouted the guy and forgot his name, man. I think he's playing for the Bears right now. They were targeting him. Brisker, I think his name is Brisker. Yeah, Brisker. The Bears got him, I believe. They were targeting him, and the Bears drafted him before the Saints got to him. And then they went to Alontae Taylor, which a lot of people thought Alontae Taylor would be there in the 3rd round. And the Saints reached on him a bit. But anyway, the Alontae Taylor situation was he was supposed to be a guy that comes in and provides safety depth and cornerback help for the black and gold. Because when they drafted him as a safety. But they wanted to use him as a cornerback or nickelback just in case you had an issue with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. The problem was Chauncey Gardner-Johnson seen that a mile away. That's why Chauncey was bucking in the preseason, and ultimately led to him getting canned. But the reality is Chauncey didn't handle it the right way. If Chauncey would have just kept playing football and chilled out, the Saints would have gave him his bread. I promise you that. Because right after that, Eric McCoy, who was in the same situation that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in, meaning contractually speaking, he got his money without any problem. So that's what I was telling you. If he'd have just played cool, not held out, he would have got his bread from the Saints. They wouldn't have traded him. So when we talk about the trade that sent Chauncey Gardner to Philadelphia, do not forget to add Chauncey's contribution, which led to the Saints moving him out of here, because had he handled it different, he would still be here today. Now, it was a dumb trade because the Saints didn't get any value, and it was something they did last minute, which if you couldn't get fair trade on him, you shouldn't have traded him, you should have kept him. Then cooler heads would have prevailed, but perhaps not. Because when Dennis Allen gets upset, he handles you like Jameis Winston. You see that? And he probably wouldn't, you know. But with Chauncey, probably been different because very few people can do what Chauncey did at the nickel position and what he brung there. So it was still a dumb trade because you didn't get fair value for the man, and all for behind $4 million. And the Saints just eat that up and crap it out every day, you know. So, but in terms of what he does playing as a boundary or a guy, he has shown that he can play the boundary. He can play outside. He does look comfortable doing it. He's getting better. You know, he was baptism by fire a couple of games ago. But Alontae learns fast, man, and that's one of the things that we scouted about Alontae Taylor, is that he's incredibly intelligent. Both of those guys, Paulson Adebo and Alontae Taylor, were credited about their intelligence. So the Saints have two physical, very long cornerbacks who are intelligent, and the future is bright, especially when we get Laddie Daddy back, get Bradley Roby the hell out of here, and and just keep on building, man. But first things first, we got to get that son of a gun Dennis Allen off the top of this team. Jaquan Brisker, there you go. Thank you, KT. Shout out. And KT know, because KT was scouting Brisker too, and he was a hell of a player, and the Saints was looking directly at Jaquan Brisker, and the Bears picked him up, and I was like, yep. I knew that. I seen that happening. So Yeah, but he says a heck of a safety. Taylor is clearly better. What do you think about Debo moving? I don't think Debo goes to safety. I think the Saints like him at the cornerback position. I think Alontae Taylor, obviously, to me, would probably find his future at the nickel position once Lattimore comes back, and it'll probably be your three guys right there. Because really, I'm just tired of seeing what's his name? What's his face? Bradley Roby get ran up and rolled over every game, get burnt and always out of position, missing tackles. I'm so sick of watching that guy, man. It's always we got one bum ass cornerback that can't seem to do nothing right, despite how much practice he have. He always get toasted, burnt. The guy carries a grill on his back that when he gets burned, he just simply takes the grill off and jumps on it. I mean, he might as well just put wheels on it and ride on it like it's a vehicle. He's constantly in a state of burntment. That's what all the time. All right, no problem, Fabo. Full coach, shout out to you, fam. Yeah, Troll said if we would have kept Chauncey, he would be our starting safe. That was the idea, bro. If you go back and research when we was covering this and when they drafted the kid, we did all this. Go back, we've been on the air for a long time. If you go back and watch the shows, we talked about this. We did draft specials when they drafted Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in the first year and the second year. We talked about that. I talked about that a lot on the Sports Coma about the role Chauncey Gardner-Johnson has because he just didn't fill into the nickel position. They're like, we got somebody going right here. We good. No, it didn't quite happen like that. He morphed there, but really the application was they were just using him at the nickel position. And then when Malcolm Jenkins ultimately retired, he was going to assume one of the safety positions back there. So it quite didn't work out with that. The Saints stupidly gave him away for $4 million. That which the gap was, and with a player with duality in this game or dual application, that $4 million would have went a long way. And plus, you didn't get really nothing for him. So that's dumb. But let us not forget that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson did that shit to himself because Chauncey Gardner-Johnson started holding out. He started talking about, I'm going to go and I'm going to give you only 50%. Then I'm going to go sit down somewhere. And while he was doing that, Alontae Taylor out there cutting up. So he provided a lane for Alontae Taylor, who he seen as competition because he really was. And that's what, of course, ended up happening. What's up, Smokey? Shout out for you for hitting that subscribe button, fam. So I'm just, I'm a historian. I just like to mention those things. All right, Ramsey, shout out to you. What's up, Debbie? Shout out to you. Yeah, they let a lot of good players go. Yeah, and when you let good players go, because sometimes you can't keep everybody. But the Saints did do a good job of bringing players into the fold. And I'm thinking a lot of the stuff that happened with some of the players, like, when the Saints, when they started, if they tried to keep Dennis Allen, word on the street is they're not going to keep Dennis Allen. A lot of people believe they are, but word on the street is that inside of there is they hearing it, that the Who Dat Nation is on code in a way that I've never seen before. Like if you go back to the losing times, you didn't have them at some point, right after during Katrina when things got really bad and Tom Benson was threatening to move the team. We got on code then and be like, take that team and stick them where the sun don't shine, Tom Benson. You're not going to get all this money and we ain't going to build a brand new stadium by where War Lumber is for you, an open air stadium. That's the dumbest idea in the world. You want an open air stadium in a hot air, during the summer in New Orleans? Are you crazy? So you want an open air stadium, how much it rained down here. And are you crazy? What's wrong with you? But he wanted a brand new stadium and all this other stuff. And the Saints was terrible. They were awful in the 3-13 season prior to Katrina, where the Saints was stinking up the joint leading up to that fact when Jim Haslett was this is prior to Coach Payton coming in here. And the Saints got on code. Saints Who Dat Nation family members got on code then, and they're on code right now. There are people that's rocking with me on the boycott saying, Q, we with you. They play with us and they don't get rid of this guy at the end of the season. We're not buying their tickets. So I'm getting a lot of people commenting saying, bro, we with you. And I'm really happy because this is something that will be a example or a case study, so to speak, for other franchises because they're watching you. Because a lot of these teams are losing games. Atlanta's been losing a lot of games over the last several years. Then you have the Carolina Panthers. They're losing games. They had a lot of bad franchises that just set up there. But the Who Dat Nation's on code. And they called you spoiled to winning. And that's some of the dumbest shit in the world. I thought you was put here to succeed. I'm sorry. For those people say, well, you got to go head on. You got to go. No, bro. You were put here to succeed. Now you'll have some setbacks, which are not failures, but you're supposed to, that's how we learn. You're supposed to hurdle those things. You're supposed to get over those obstacles to get where you are. You're supposed to succeed. Sometimes it takes you a little longer, but you're supposed to figure out what you need to do and beat whatever you beat, so you can get on the other side of it and have success. You're supposed to have success. You're supposed to succeed the majority of the time in your life. You know, and for people that sit up here saying, no, you're supposed to be able to sit up there. Nah, man, you out your mind. We're not doing that. We're going to elevate this mind here. We're going to elevate this energy here. And we're going to exercise the fact that they tell you, guess what? Who that nation? This is your New Orleans Saints. Don't they tell you that? Put one in the chat. Put one in the chat. They tell you this is your New Orleans Saints. This is your New Orleans Pelicans. They tell you all that. Why they telling it's yours? Because it is yours. You pay for it. You pay for the facilities. All the money that comes from, that pays the players, come from you. The ticket sales, the merchandise, all that stuff is marked up extrally. We built these parking facilities down there in New Orleans while we paying the park. While I'm paying you $20 or $25 to park closer so I can have a shorter walk. While I'm paying you all this money to park in these buildings, and these buildings been paid for 3 times over. While I'm paying you for all of that. That's because we advocated our control, but this will be an exercise to advocate our control. And either they listen to us or they will feel it. And I've been calling them. I've been messaging them. I send my videos to them. People send my videos to them. They know we're not playing. And most of the other Saint family members that's podcasters are on code with me. They all saying the same thing. They want Dennis Allen out of here. So we are one voice on this matter. So the Saints, y'all can play with us if you want. We deadly serious on this. But anyway, let me get on up into this thing, man. Shout out to the fam. I appreciate y'all being up in this thing. Let me get this on so I can move on to on Q. With Big Q, we talking about Deion Sanders tonight on the stream. So if y'all want to join us, go over and sign up for our Patreon. You can be able to capture all of those old shows or on Q with Big Q. I don't know how many of they are, but there are quite a few of them over there on the Patreon channel. All right, so anyway, family, hit the like button as we get ready to jump into the first story right here. What's up, Antoinette? Shout out to you, Queen. Brother Clarence. JLJ504HD, shout out to you, my brother. Much love to you. All right. Brother Gundam say all the Saints front office very displeased with Dennis Allen's results. I'm pretty sure they are, because we are complaining. We're complaining about that. Thank you, Neil. Neil Lockett hit the subscribe button. Thank you, Brother Neil. Much love to you. Appreciate you, fam, for hitting that like button, and welcome to the family, baby. Much love. Diehard Saints, shout out to you, bro. I see you. Much love. Carlito, what's up, fam? Good to see Carlito. Hope you're all right. Nola Balls, Brother Steven, I see you, fam. Much love. Woo, shout out to you. He said, did you see the video of a Saint fan at the Bucks game telling Mickey Loomis to fire Dennis? No, I did not. Woo, I'm going to have you send me that, bro. Email that to me, bro, or post it on Twitter at the Sports Coma. Send it to me, man. I'll play it on the stream, man. No, I did not see that, bro. But you said he said, I went to, hold on. He said, did you see the video of a Saint fan at the Bucks game telling Mickey Loomis to fire? Yeah, and that's not the only thing. These people are getting bombarded by that all across. They're getting bombarded with, and I'm hearing this is somebody telling me that they getting bombarded with phone calls. It's somebody that's close to the situation. I ain't gonna, get my sources, but that's always bust that word on the street. But they're telling me that the Saints are well aware that the Who Dat Nation intends on providing economic boycotts against them not paying tickets, not buying merch. And they are very aware that people are, when Mickey Loomis and them are out on the street, they are telling them this face to face. And they are well aware of the disgust of the Who Dat Nation, and that we will not tolerate this coach. There is no way you can bring this man back for a second season, and he's about to be a double-digit loser in the loss column. My call on it is, I say Dennis Allen finished the season 5-12. There is no way you can bring that guy back. And he is not valuable enough in the mindset of the team. Okay, Trey just said, Trey, thank you, bro. Trey sent it to me, man. Okay. All right, Trey sent it to me. Trey, man. Say, Trey, that's quick service, brother. That's quick service. Shout out to Trey. I just happen to have my Twitter open, man. All right. Yeah, I'm going to play it after I go through this. Thank you, Trey. Shout out, bro. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There you go. I got you. I got my play it out. You sent it to my email. I mean, to my Twitter. I'm going to jump into it after I go through this. All right, fam, hit the like button. Falcons bench, Marcus Mariota will start rookie Desmond Ridder against the Saints after the bye week. And this is the Per report. And of course, we know Ridder had a lot of experience, man, playing in college with Cincinnati. He was a fantastic quarterback. I liked him at Cincinnati. 4 years of experience. He's very mature, very intelligent. For them to get him where they got a really good young quarterback. They just need to build the team around him and protect him. And this kid's going to be problems to the Who Dat Nation in years to come. A smart quarterback that's accurate. His arm strength's okay. But he is very talented. He ain't the fastest quarterback in the world, but he can cause problems for you. And like most of the times when we play quarterbacks, inexperienced quarterbacks, these men team seems to always give the Saints defense problems. I mean, you talk about Ryan Pickett with the Pittsburgh Steelers matchup, what he did, and others always seem to give the same. Matter of fact, most quarterbacks for this entire damn season have given the Saints problems. But anyway, Falcons coach Arthur Smith left the door open for potential quarterback change after Week 13's loss to the Steelers. Now he pulled the trigger on just that, benching Marcus Mariota for rookie Desmond Ridder ahead of the team's Week 4 team bye. According to NFL media, a third-round draft pick this April, Ridder will make his debut Week 15 against the rival Saints. And this is indeed true. This is true. You know, so at some point in time, you know, they making a move because, you know, they want a jolt. Marcus Mariota, they lost to the Steelers and a smart coach. And Arthur Smith ain't the best coach in the world, but goddamn, he's seen something not working correctly. And he says, you know what, let me get a change at the top. What does Dennis Allen do? Why does he not go to Jameis? Because I keep telling family members that Dennis Allen's not going to go to Jameis Winston unless Andy Dalton gets hurt. Why do you say that, Q? Why you keep saying that? Because Dennis Allen didn't like the fact that Jameis Winston went to the media and told him that he deceived him, that he told him that he was going to come back soon as he was healthy enough to play and he would not lose his job due to injury. So he deceived him. Jameis told the media that. He followed it up with something else, and Dennis Allen is upset about that. That's what kind of petty garbage dog this is, where he'll do this. So he's going to ride with Andy Dalton. He's going to and Andy Dalton does just enough to stay in there. And listen, don't be mad at Andy Dalton, family. Andy Dalton didn't ask to be thrown in between a pissing match between Jameis Winston and a dumb head coach, Dennis Allen. I mean, this guy, it shouldn't be even that. The guy's making $20+ million over this year and next year, and he's rocking behind Andy Dalton. That makes no sense. You know, so if a change was done against the 49ers, I think the Saints would have won, maybe one, if not both of those games, and would be relevant right now. But the fact that you would put your own petty self-interest above winning for the team means that you are a dangerous detriment to the overall success of the team when you put your own petty feelings above the team, and which would be better for the team overall, which is to be the better talent. If the guy's good to go, you put him in there, you play him. But for him to do that means that he's not mature enough, not savvy enough, not smart enough, not intelligent enough to be a head coach, not of our New Orleans Saints. So he's just this guy's it's just upsetting. And anyway, he says we got to get over the hump here, and there are a lot of things at stake, says Smith. Now, who did Dennis Allen talk like this? After Sunday's loss, which dropped Atlanta to 5-8, any change is going to be what's best for the team, short term and long term. If you think that's the best thing for you in that moment, yeah, we're going to do that, he added later regarding a potential QB change. That's what you're paid to do. Our circumstances are very different today than they were a couple of weeks ago, which means they have an opportunity to push for the playoffs. So you put that ahead of anything else. Who is the best? I want to field the best players of my roster. I want to put those guys out there. I want the very best players that the Saints have. The best quarterbacks, the best wide receivers, the best offensive linemen, on and on and on. I want to field the best guys out there to give me a chance to win. Does Dennis Allen think like that? No, he doesn't. No, he does. He puts his own petty feelings above the team. The Falcons are technically still in the NFC playoff picture and have just one less win than the NFC South leading Bucks. They've lost 2 straight, and 4 of their last 5 were struggling offensively in each of those last 4 losses. So what they do, they're going to a QB change. The Falcons have failed to eclipse 17 total points, while injuries to big names like Kyle Pitts have impacted that side of the ball. Mariota has been erratic as a passer all season, mostly finding success as a runner. And then they get into all of this other stuff, which I care not to talk about because that's Atlanta Falcon business. And all I care about is the fact that we have to prepare for this quarterback. Very, very, very interesting. All right, so let's move on to the next thing. Shout out to my boy Bob Rose over the Saints News Network, brother Kyle T. Mosley. Shout out to him. He got things Saints should do over the final 4 games. You know, Bob's going to tell it like it is. He's probably one of the realest, if not the realest writer that we have out there. He tells it like it is, whether people get mad or not. That's why Bob comes on. We get him on the Sports Coma because we want the real of the real. We don't want nobody swaying whatever the wind push him to. So anyway, with New Orleans all but officially eliminated from the division race, here's some of the things that the Saints should do over the last 4 games. The Saints head into their bye week with a putrid 4-9 record. Their only remaining chance at the playoffs is if they win their last 4 games. Fat chance that's going to happen. Fat chance. Is it possible, Q? Now, Q, you've been a little negative there. The Saints could very well win 4 straight games with Andy Dalton at the quarterback and Dennis Allen at your head coach, with Pete Carmichael doing the same stuff that he's going to do for the rest of the 4 games. What is that? Per tale, you might say, Q. Run Elvin Kamara right, then run him in the center, then run him to the right, then run him to the center. Not line them up like a wide receiver and put another running back in there with some power. Spread out the defenses and see if they can hit you with a dive. Oh no, that's just too much to ask for. Anyway, their only remaining chance at the playoffs is if they win the last 4 games. The Buccaneers lose 4 of their next 5, and here we go into semantics about teams you need help to win. See, when you get to the point where you don't take care of your business, just over the last couple of games, over the San Francisco 49ers, where you got blanked, then losing. Listen, this is how sad it is. You get blanked by the 49ers, right? 13-0. The Saints score 2 touchdowns. They win that game. By the way, the Saints average over 20 points a game. Not in that game. You score 2 touchdowns, you beat the 49ers. You simply score 1 touchdown on the back end of the Buccaneers game, you beat the Bucs. That's 2 games right there. You go into the bye, rest up, get Lattimore back or whatever. Against Atlanta, you got a real chance. But now that you've dropped 2 must-win games, because the 49ers was a must-win, you dropped it. The Tampa Bay game was a must-win, you imploded. Now you go into the bye week talking about we got to win 4 straight, but you're going to need a lot of help. When you start looking at need a lot of help territory, you're not handling your business, man, you're going to end up getting screwed. Because that means you're not a team of destiny. That means that you're a lazy-ass bastard who just want to sit up there and let somebody else do it for you when you should have been doing your own heavy lifting. And that's what kind of team we have. Now they're going to be asking for help. First and foremost, they're not going to win 4 games in a row. And I think Bob's just saying that just for the talking point. But Dennis Allen is not going to change. At least Arthur Smith from the Falcons says, you know what, our offense stinks. We can't get past 17 points a contest. How about a QB change? Maybe this new quarterback will galvanize things. But no, Dennis Allen is petty. He puts his own petty ass emotions above the team. That's why he doesn't deserve to be a head coach of the team. Well, now we've seen Sean Payton put his petty emotions over the team. But Sean Payton has earned some degree of respect because, you know, he's won some contests, so you give him a little bit more leeway than, of course, with somebody that's a loser like Dennis Allen. Carolina Panthers lose 2 of the remaining 5. This is what you need to happen, New Orleans Saints and Who Dat Nation, great Saint Dank Tank. This is what you need to happen for you to get into the playoffs, okay? Here, Bob spells it out. You got to win all 4 games, okay? You got that? That means you got to beat Atlanta, you got to beat Philly, you got to beat Cleveland, you got to beat Carolina. You got to win all those games, and 2 of those 4 are on the road in Philly and Cleveland in cold climates. Now, granted, over the last several games, the Saints can't run the ball. They're inconsistent offensively, and the defense is now starting to fall apart. Can they galvanize that, come together, and win 4 games in a row, right? Carolina has to lose 2 of their remaining 5. The Saints play once. They would take care of that. Carolina have to lose the other one. That is possible. And the Atlanta Falcons lose to the New Orleans Saints in Week 15. That means you sweep the Falcons on the season if you could take care of business against them next week. You beat them in Week 1. You beat them in Week 15. You sweep the Falcons. You split with Carolina. So you got those 2. In other words, Dennis Allen has a better chance at winning Coach of the Year. So anyway, the comedy part about it is the Saints under Dennis Allen will not win 4 games in a row. Dennis Allen won, and I said this again, he won 2 games in a row in his first year with Oakland. He beat Jacksonville, which was garbage, and then he beat the Kansas City Chiefs the next game. He won 2 games once. He's never won more than 2 games over the last several years. And the reason why, as a head coach, he can't win games back to back. And over the last 4 wins, the Saints 4-9, after every win, there was a loss. Why? Because he doesn't have the ability to pull the positive from wins on into the next week. That's the problem with Dennis Allen. And that pays direct attention to detail. If you're a guy that doesn't have attention to detail, you're not a disciplinarian coach. You know, you don't handle your team with that. You don't make people, you don't remove players or sit them down when they false start or when they're not prepared to play, and you just allow them to keep doing what they do, dropping passes, fumbling the ball, and you don't discipline them by removing time. You don't have to cuss at them. Just sit their asses down. That hurts players more than anything by removing them off the field of play and putting them on the bench where they can't play. That hurts players severely. So he don't even do that. You just let them make mistakes, and that ties into why the Saints are one of the mistake-prone teams in the NFL. That explains why you're 4-9 and an undisciplined mess, because you are a reflection of your undisciplined, messy coach in Dennis Allen. Anyway, let's get through this, fam. It's their own fault. They exhibited poor play in all phases of the game most of the year, surpassed only by even worse coaching. So Bob cutting loose on them. As a result, this offseason is sure to be filled with plenty of changes in personnel and probably the coaching staff, which is a shame because, listen, the reality, family, is, you know, I can get people being upset, you know, that, you know, the Saints the Saints are losing. But listen, there wasn't too many changes done. Now, remember, the same majority of the assistant coaches that are under Dennis Allen right now were winning under Sean Payton. You see, you only made really 3 changes if you think about it. And the 3 changes was Dennis Allen as a head coach. You got a new wide receiver coach, which Cody Burns from Tennessee, which he's not no problem. He's terrific. And then Doug Marrone as your offensive line coach. That's the 3 changes you made. So Doug Marrone is somebody you might have to say, you know what, we might have to find somebody else, because we need more of a disciplinarian type person to get on these false starting ass offensive linemen here. Dennis Allen most certainly got to go. But see, when you fire him, we're going to lose a lot of really good assistants in the blast crater that is Dennis Allen. The crap bomb that Dennis Allen is. Crap bomb, you know, the dung bomb. The cow dung bomb that Dennis Allen is. You're gonna get some pieces splatter on these really good coaches, and that's a shame because we have some really good assistant coaches, and we're gonna lose them because of how bad Dennis Allen is. His bad is so bad it's reflecting negatively on his assistant coaches, and we know these guys are very good, because they were winning with Sean Payton, and then Dennis Allen gets over the team, and you can't even mimic or do anything because he's the problem. He is the problem. Anyway, some players could and should be playing for their 2023 jobs over these final 4 games. Here's some things we should see from the Saints over the last month of the regular season. Start Trevor Penning, and this is true because at this point you got a month worth of games left. Now Bob is actually kind of doing. He's telling you the truth. The Saints are not mathematically eliminated. I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs. Don't get me misconstrued here. I'm simply saying I'm giving you the facts. The facts are the Saints are not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. If they win all of their games, as improbable as that is, and certain teams lose, and some of the teams that they need to lose are teams that they're playing against, like Carolina and Atlanta. If they can beat Atlanta, they sweep Atlanta on the season, that gives them a chance. But that won't happen because Dennis Allen is in the way. He won't allow them to win because the way he handles business is that of a loser. He doesn't get it. He's stubborn. He's blind. He has tunnel vision. And a tunnel vision is something that leads you right down to the path of hell and losing and unsuccessfulness. And that's what this guy is. You can't tell him nothing. You could tell him 100% true things and he'll still do the wrong shit just because it's my idea and I'm going to do it. That's what kind of crap this is. That's what kind of immature person this is, that puts his own immaturity and his own emotional issues above the team. We know Jameis is the best you got at the quarterback position. He gives you a deep ball thrower, somebody that scares the hell out of the defense. Just by the fact that he throws an accurate deep ball, backs the defense off and gives your offense room to operate. You think that guy is going to consider that? No, he's going to keep telling them to do the same thing. Stop trying to coach and call plays on the defensive side and pay attention to the rest of your team. He keeps calling the defenses. He got two co-coordinators in Coach Richard and Ryan Nielsen. Make one of those men a coordinator, the other guy the assistant, and you stop calling plays. Let them do it. And I say he needs to stop doing that after this defense imploded, because obviously they need something new to happen, and it needs not to be him. You think he'll relinquish those duties? No, because he keeps doing the same thing over and over again because he's insane. He's crazy. That's the literal definition of insanity, is to keep doing the same thing over and over again, looking for different results. What is Dennis Allen doing? He does the same thing. The man is literally crazy. He's crazy. He's insane. By the definition of the word, he's insane. So Bob says, listen, Q, we need to start Trevor Penning at left tackle. Amen. Let's get him in there. The Saints' 2 first-round picks last spring. Penning was the 4th tackle selected, 19 overall. He was making nice progress in the preseason until he got that foot injury. The injury kept him sidelined for the first 11 games. Once activated, Penning has seen time in the team's jumbo packages, getting 6 offensive snaps against the San Francisco 49ers and 10 up against the Bucs. A mauler in the running game, Penning has quick feet and upper body technique to be a standout in pass protection. He's also raw, especially coming from a smaller school like Northern Iowa. Starting left tackle Hurst was on a track. He was on track to edge out Penning for the starting job to open the regular season. Hurst is a solid lineman, but has troubles with athletic edge rushers and the better fit that go. I've been saying that all damn season. Y'all know from last year to this year. Why is he starting at left tackle when he struggles against athletic people? That was the big thing I talked about. And the Saints said, we'll fix it. We'll just put him in the shotgun, the infinite shotgun. Well, you don't need to do that. You know, really, truly, I was like, man, you put Ryan Ramczyk at the left side, but the way Ramczyk is not playing like the best Saint offensive lineman we have. Since we paid Ramczyk the big check, Ramczyk has been absent. He turned into a big ball of love. He just want to hug everybody and throw up peace signs of peace. He's a peaceful man. He don't want no smoke no more since he got that check. He ain't mad. And imagine people was saying that would have been Lattimore doing that. They said, man, we're going to pay Lattimore that money. He going to turn into being bored again. No, that's Ramczyk. Ramczyk is doing that. He don't play angry no more. Put the tape on. What's up, Randolph? Shout out to my dog, Randolph, man. Good to see you in the chat, bro. All right, so anyway, inserting Penning in the starting lineup will surely come with some growing pains, but what the hell are we missing, though? The Saints growing pains all damn year long. They're 4-9. They're 4-9. We ain't missing nothing, you know. And Bob said, put him in there. However, significant playing time now will also reduce his learning curve a great deal entering the 2023 campaign. Throw him in there. Throw his ass in there. Throw him in there. Put him at left tackle. Move Hurst to left guard. And I said that. Hurst is a better guard than he is ever a left tackle. Let Penning play there. Move Hurst inside. That should help out some. We know Ruiz is going to be there. And then you got Andrews Pete there. Let's get Kelvin Throckmorton as soon as we can out of the start, because Kelvin Throckmorton and Kevin White, these guys don't need to be on this team, man. These guys are not good enough. I'm sorry, they're not. The Saints need to do better in backup offensive lineman. Kelvin Throckmorton is not a good offensive lineman. He's too big to be that sorry. I'm sorry. He's a big vending machine with skates on. That's what he is. He used to be. That's what Kelvin Throckmorton is, like one of them big old Coke machines, the big Coke vending machines that got wheels on them. You take them and push them where you want with ease. That's what the hell Throckmorton is. More targets for Rashid Shaheed, another guy, undrafted guy. Now, the Saints did do a good job by putting Rashid Shaheed out there. They also did a really good job by putting Kirk Merritt out there. We've seen Lucas Krull. We need to see Jordan Jackson. We need to see more of these guys get out there. We really do. We need to see more of these guys get out there because we have a very good crop of undrafted players that the Saints have just sitting on the practice squad. Why? Why we keep putting in guys like Traquan Smith and Kevin White? We keep bringing these guys back. These guys are not going to be better than what they are. They're not going to turn into Superman or some, Dragon Ball Z or Goku or Super Saiyan Ultra or what you call it? Man, I used to be on it, man. I ain't on it. Like my children on it now. But Instinct, Ultra Instinct or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to turn. It's not Traquan not going to turn into Traquan Ultra Instinct. It won't happen. What you see Traquan Smith is now is what he will be. Period. This is the highest ceiling he gets in the Who Dat Nation. This is all we've seen from this man. And Kevin White, you're holding on to, visions of grandeur, taking Kevin White. Kevin White is not going to be better than what he is right now. We need to focus on some of these young wide receivers and see what they can do and see what they can contribute to the team in the future. All these other old ass guys, they need to be shown the dough, man. They need to be shown the dough because they ain't doing nothing but sucking up the money anyway. All right, Rashid Shaheed, undrafted rookie from Weber State, burst on the scene with a 44-yard touchdown run, 53-yard scoring reception the first 2 times he touched the ball as a pro. This man had it from the jump, Shaheed saw limited action in his first 5 NFL games, averaging 6 offensive snaps between 6 and 10. He also emerged as the team's primary returner after the season-ending injury to Deontay Harty. We knew that was going to happen. That's why I'm telling you, when we talk about what the Saints did this year and what they did, and they talk about if they try to spin it where it was an injury thing and we won't just get healthy and try this thing again, we're not going for that. Because the Saints came into this year with every possible insurance policy. They had insurance policies everywhere. Insurance policies everywhere. For Michael Thomas, they had insurance policies named with Jarvis Landry. We just sent 2 first rounders to give Chris Olave. The Saints brought in talent, Rashid Shaheed, because he was insurance policy for Deontay Harty, who the Saints, gave him he signed his chicken tender, but he wanted a long-term extension. A little feathers were ruffled early on before he signed that extension because he wanted a longer deal. But this is why Rashid Shaheed's here. To replace Deontay Harty. He's a cheaper, faster, well, I ain't gonna say faster, but to the Saints, he's a more impactful item. He's most certainly looks every bit of the part. So the Saints did have insurance policies all across the team. This is not on injuries. This is on bad coaching. Bottom line. Saw limited action in his first 5 games, averaged 6 offensive snaps between 6 and 10. Over the last 3 games, Rashid has played 94 offensive snaps. His best game was against the Bucs. He caught all 4 of his passes for 75 yards. He had 2 punt returns for 42 and 17 and returned a kickoff for 30 yards. Outside of the first-round pick, Chris Olave, the Saints have few weapons at wideout. Landry is a shadow of his former form. Marquez Callaway and Traquan Smith have never had consistent production. Shaheed has game-breaking speed, but also quickly developed as a route runner. He has 12 receptions for 239, 5 targets over 8 games. And all I can say is that imagine what Rashid Shaheed looks with an accurate deep ball thrower. He's specially made for a Jameis Winston type that stretches the field. And when you take Jameis, that's why Jarvis wanted to play with Jameis Winston. Because if you have a guy that can stretch the field and you got a guy like Jarvis that plays in that middle area, in the slot position, guys that stretch the field and get upfield and stretch defenses out, that gives all kind of room for guys like Jarvis Landry to work on the, in the slot area. But with Andy Dalton, all that area is cluttered because they're not afraid of the Saints deep ball. Why? Why should I be? I'll just stay right around here and make it different, crowd it up for you. So Jameis stretches the field. Could you imagine what Rashid Shaheed looks like with Jameis Winston throwing him the ball out there? With Chris Olave getting the ball downfield to him? And this defenses have to stretch. It's a whole different dynamic when you got a guy that can throw the ball deep and has an accurate deep ball. That's a big part of Jameis Winston's game that helps the Saints offense out. It definitely helps Alvin Kamara because it provides extra space for him to operate and move as well. So when you got somebody like Dalton, who's not a deep ball guy, they play close. We can't, and it changes everything. The Saints have plenty of other offseason needs. If she can show that he can be a quality complement to Olave, that eliminates an extremely high priority on another receiver. Shelve Marshawn Lattimore and Pete Werner for the year. Lattimore is arguably the NFL's best cornerback, able to stifle the league's best wideouts on one-on-one. His abilities allowed the entire defense to be more aggressive and creative with their coverage and pass rush packages. Lattimore has missed the last 8 games with abdominal injuries that included a lacerated kidney. You definitely need to shelve him. And people talking about playing Marshawn Lattimore, I totally agree with this, what Bob is saying here. I would definitely put him and Pete Werner on the injury list. And, and see what guys like Caden Ellis has. And Caden Ellis has been looking really good over the last 3 weeks. Let's see what Caden Ellis has. Let's see what other guys like Nephi Sewell, some of these young guys that's backing up the guys, because we know Zach Bourne got hurt. He was in a walking boot. So you're going to see other guys like Dowell perhaps and Nephi Sewell, other linebackers get an opportunity to step in there and get some play. But I definitely agree with this. We need to put Lattimore on the IR, man. We don't need to play with no lacerated kidneys and all this kind of stuff, man. The Saints ain't going nowhere this year anyway. So put him on the bench. Werner looked like he was on his way to a Pro Bowl. He was the NFL leader in solo tackles, a 53 through the first 9 weeks. He had 20 more tackles than Demario Davis did before he got hurt. 20-something more tackles than Demario Davis, who always seems to be the top Saints tackle but Werner had him beat. He had him beat. Prototype size, terrific sideline-to-sideline athleticism, terrific run defender with solid awareness and coverage, overall instincts. Ankle injury suffered in week 9, sidelined for the last 4 games. Lattimore and Werner returned to practice on a limited basis last couple of weeks. Each were considered possibilities to play against the Bucs. Last-minute inactives. Saints have beaten the Buccaneers. They would have had a strong chance to take. They would have had a strong chance to take in the South. Since they didn't, there's nothing to gain for playing either of these men. They'll both be key parts in the defense in 2023, so let them fully rehabilitate for the offseason. Rookie cornerback Alante Taylor and Caden Ellis have played outstanding football. More reps for them without Lattimore and Werner also can mean a more experienced unit for 2023. Absolutely agree with that. 3 really solid things to talk about, and may I add a few more on top of this? It's like, let's see what some of these other guys can do. Let's see what Kirk Merritt can do. Let's get him back in there. Let's see what Lucas Krull can do. Let's get him in there and get him involved in the offensive playbook. Let's also see what Jordan Jackson, the 7th-round draft pick defensive lineman that we have. Let's see what Jordan Jackson looks like. Let's see what some of these really good-looking undrafted guys look like on the team. The Saints are not going anywhere this year. They're not. They're not going to win 4 games in a row. They're not going to do it. It's just, it's just what it is. All right. Shout out to Bob on that. And also, I'm going to play this video right here, family. But first, give a shout out to Demario Davis, who was nominated once again for the Walter Payton Man of the Year for the 2nd time. New Orleans Saints have named Demario Davis the team's Man of the Year this year, and Demario Davis has been named the club's 2022 Man of the Year, making him the club nominee for the NFL Walter Payton of the Year award presented by Nationwide. The award is given annually by the NFL, honoring a player's community service work as well as his excellence on the field. Team nominees for all 32 clubs were announced Tuesday. This is the 2nd time that Davis is the team nominee, having been the first nominated back in 2020. And what Demario said was, the Walter Payton Man of the Year is a special honor, and I'm truly humbled to be the Saints nominee. It is particularly special to me, given my roots as a Mississippi native and that I share a home state with the great man that the award is named after. Helping those in need, especially the youth, is something that is very close to my heart, and it is a blessing to be able to help them achieve their dreams through the Devoted Dreamers Foundation. That's Demario's foundation that he handles all of his business through and all of his charitable endeavors. He's a fortunate fellow, and he's blessed because he does a lot of positive stuff for people that need help. And he gives money and his time and everything to those type of groups. And Demario Davis is a good person, and congratulations to that brother for being a nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year. And I hope he wins it for real. Shout out, brother Demario. And of course, family, I'm going to play this video right here for those who probably ain't seen it. This was released by the New Orleans Saints. And remember, we talk about Saints economics here on the Sports Coma from time to time. I get on the spiel and start talking about all of the stuff, meaning the monies, because I don't just talk football here. I talk around football and football. We talk about scheme. We talk about schemes. We talk about scams. Because if it ain't working, that scheme is a scam. So we talk about it all around here on the Sports Coma. That's why it's the Great Saint Think Tank. We know what our contribution is to the team overall in the city. We know where the money comes from. I make no secret about that. I think that if we're educated on our impact economically to the team and where the money's coming from, that gives you an idea of what control you have over the team. So you don't have to be a person that just sits there and take whatever they do. You do have some impact because they told you that this is your New Orleans Saints. This is your whatever. If it's your team, then you have an impact. You can make an impact. And you, meaning us as a single unit, could impact what they do on the team and who they hire. We really could. We control that because they come in at, they want your support. So for your support, if we stay on code, we get this guy out of here and we get back to our winning ways and just be a pit stop in a chapter that we just forget about in between getting back to the winning. You get what I'm saying? But anyway, this is what they've done or what they're doing to the Superdome. This is a promotional ad put out by the New Orleans Saints organization about the dome. And a big part of this ad is, remember, that they're doing all this with mind with massive amounts of profit that's supposed to come in the upcoming year. So do you really think they would waste the opportunity to make millions of dollars more on a renovated Superdome? And by the way, the taxpayers spent well over $300 million, well over 300 million, estimates up to $400 and 500 million on the renovation over several years of putting all kind of new renovations in there for the Saints to make even more money. Not to mention just the Saints making more money, but the unelected commission that sits over the top of both the arena and the Superdome. Unelected now. I think one of the dudes' names is Thornton, that sits on top of it, unelected, and control the revenue of both the Superdome and the arena, whether it's the Saints or concerts or any other thing that goes through there. You know, that all comes from you, and you get not one apricot from that. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. Okay, anyway, this is the ad right here. And while you watching this ad, I want you to think about, you know, Dennis Allen being your head coach. Here we go. Put one in the chat if y'all can hear this.
Its improvements will be complete in time for next season, with everything being wrapped up in 2024. It's all designed to give our fans the game day experience they deserve.
Oh, how about that? How you feel about that? How y'all loving that? So they're going to get you in and out to get your beverage so you can get up there and go watch Dennis Allen play? I think not, man. I think not. So you're going to do all this with Dennis Allen as the head coach of the team? See, and what I'm saying is you got them in a vulnerable position is what I'm saying, family. See, all these renovations are supposed to be ready for the upcoming season. If they don't do what you're saying, you provide a boycott, they won't be able to max out and make, because they got dollar signs in their eyes. They rubbing their hands together like the Birdman after spending all this money to open up and put light in the dome. You gonna shed light on Dennis Allen garbage ass? You gonna go? That's what you want the world to see what the Saints look like? So all these renovations to a bumbling, stumbling, boobish team for real? No, sir. See, we gonna make sure all that go all the way down in the ground. We gonna stop you dead in your tracks, sir. We will stop you. You play with us if you want. All these little magical things that you're talking about, open up light, and them escalators gonna be escalators to hell, because ain't nothing gonna happen. They're gonna be escalators to non-profit. They're gonna be escalators to a record not making any money. And it's gonna shine a light on how shabby the team look. Oh no, people crazy as hell. All right, anyway, let me play this right here, fam. This is what Trey sent me, man. This is what a person told Mickey Loomis. You can see Mickey Loomis. What is this guy? I'm standing up here. I'm Mickey Loomis. What is going on here? How dare that guy tell me, you know, I need to fire Dennis Allen. Here's Mickey Loomis. This is what Trey sent me.
Come on, Mickey. It's on you, Mickey. You got to make a move tonight, Mickey. He's not ready for this, Mickey. You're killing the city. You're killing a reputation. 3rd and 1, they tried to throw a pass. Mickey Loomis, you got to do New Orleans better.
You see that? Mickey Loomis stood there and listened. Oh, and this is what Mickey was thinking while the man was saying that. He was saying, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe he did that. You know, and I got to listen to this guy, this fellow over here tell me that, you know, I can't believe it. You know? I think I might have made a bad bet here. I listened to Payton. I listened to Sean Payton. That's what Mickey was thinking when he was saying that. But credit to Mickey. Notice they had a look like a stare there. Mickey ain't walk away and go away from him. Mickey just turned around, walk. He heard the man, heard him talking to him. People heard Mickey, and Mickey turned around and went back to watching it. So he didn't walk away from the man. But this is what I'm saying. It's on their minds, and that's what people have been telling me word on the street is that he's getting approached like this. Gail knows about it. And I'm telling people say Q ain't going nowhere. I disagree. Maybe a week ago I would have said that, but the pressure is so much so, and the fact that the Saints are looking to Mac. When I showed you that video just to show you. The video meaning the one with the Saints with all of the improvements to the Superdome, the $400-500 million that they put. They got end zone seating that they supposed to be. So they're waiting to make a lot of more money from this upcoming season. All of that you won't make the money if Dennis Allen, because the family base is on code like I've not seen since the years leading up to Sean Payton. I've not seen the Who Dat Nation be this on code. With one mind, one mouth, one message. Everybody, even the Great Saint Think Tank family members with podcasts, Randolph, Hoodie, Teal, my dog Teal, and all of the great voices out there. All these brothers are saying the same thing, and the entire family members base is one mind, one message. And they know this is a time where they don't want no friction. So I'm telling you, they're not going to lose out on money because of Dennis Allen when he's about to be a double-digit loser. So, yeah, that was just to play it again. Let me play this again as the man yelling at him, because this was funny. Mickey Loomis, I can't believe it.
Come on, Mickey. It's on you, Mickey. You got to make a move tonight, Mickey. He's not ready for this, Mickey. You're killing the city. You're killing the reputation. 3rd and 1, they tried to throw a pass. Mickey Loomis, you got to do New Orleans better.
There it is. So that's good. Congratulations to that person, whoever said that, man. Shout out to you, man. I don't know who you are, but shout out to you for telling Mickey Loomis that. And they're getting that in emails. They're getting that in voice messages on their phone. A lot of people telling me they don't even answer the phone no more. It's going to voicemail. All this kind of stuff. The emails we sending up there. The people like Mickey and other people that's administrators, they're aware. And then they know about the proposed economic boycotts if Dennis Allen does not get up off this team before the new year starts. So the pressure is severely on them, and they have to make it. So they're trying to make money. You're not gonna make no money with us. We will shut you down. I ain't playing. And people saying, well, Q is a football team. No, we exercising power. You don't tell me that's my team and I'm not gonna exercise power over. But it's my team. If it's my team and it belongs to me, you're supposed to exercise some type of power. I know most people don't talk like this because they don't come at it from the perspective. I know the Great Saint Think Tank do. I hear their messages all the time. They think like I do. We all the same mind. But yes, we will do whatever it takes to make sure that the team is successful. If you represent me, I will do whatever it takes to make sure the team is successful. And we've been doing that for some time now. Keeping it real and like I say, $1.15. Let me play this from right here. This is something else somebody sent me right here from Dennis Allen. Let me see what this one is. I haven't seen this. Y'all put one in the chat if y'all can hear this.
Get off me. Y'all ain't nothing without me. I made your asses. You can't fire me. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Y'all can't do me like this. You ungrateful son of a bitches! Get off me!
Oh, that's too funny. Shout out to that brother. Thank you, Trey, for sending that, man. That's funny, man. That's funny. That's too funny, man. That's too funny, man. That's too funny. All right, so with that being said, fam, let me go ahead and recap. That's too funny. All right, so Falcons bench Marcus Mariota, and it will start Desmond Ridder against the Saints next week. We don't bowl well against young quarterbacks. It's just what it is. And Dennis Allen hadn't changed anything. Atlanta did. They said, well, we ain't winning enough. Let's change some things around. So there you go. And then, of course, we also covered Bob's article, things the Saints should do over the final 4 games, which were really great suggestions, by the way, to see what these young talented players have. Also, we covered all of the $400 million renovations and all this kind of crap. The Saints got escalators and putting more natural lighting in the building. What you lighting it up for? For Dennis Allen up in there stinking it up. So you got escalators for people to run up out of there faster. Them damn escalators going to be running by themselves because we damn sure ain't going to be up in there. You have ghosts on the escalators as far as I'm concerned because we ain't going up in there until you get that guy up out of there. You ain't going to make no more money off us, man. You think you going to just give us anything? Them times is over with, man. And, that's the spill is, man, a critical thinking. People understand their power. It's a power dynamic. If you are a person that believe in empowerment, part of empowerment is power. You have to exercise your power. And to exercise your power, it takes discipline. You got to stay on code. That's what this is about. You have to stay on code for the greater good. And most people don't see it. A lot of people don't see it, but as long as you do, we don't need 100% of the people to make a change. I mean, look what happened in the civil rights. We wasn't 100% of the people operating. It's a small amount of people make change. You get on code, man. That moves mountains, bro. I'm telling you off top. But anyway, and congratulations to Demario Davis, man, with his nomination for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. And of course, a couple of funny videos, the Mickey Loomis thing, and of course the video with Dennis Allen, and that was pretty funny. That was pretty good. All right. So with that being said, fam, we're going to get ready to get out on that, man. Much love to the family. Listen, fam, please feel free to do me a service. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as we're approaching 10,000 subs. The Sports Coma up in this thing. Listen, fam, we got a lot of great, I'm going to keep it real. There's so much that I'm working behind the scenes. Doing a lot, man. I'm working hard, but there's a lot of great things that's coming down the pipe. And this in the next maybe week or 7 to 10 days is some stuff I'm gonna share with you guys. The site is gonna undergo a new look, so we're working on a few things as well, and I'm gonna share some stuff with the family members about what we got planned for 2023 and beyond. Big things popping for the Sports Coma and the PRO Media Network. We for real deal. We put in that work for 8 years strong. We put in that work of consistency, keeping it real, never folding, and just keeping and doing what we're supposed to do, man, and just being about our business, man, representing the Who Dat Nation. We up in this thing, baby. And all that hard work and dedication then ends is, that meat that continue to push us through the sky. So a lot of great things I'm going to be sharing with you guys coming up soon. A lot of great stuff I've been working with behind the scenes. So you'll know real soon, family, and a lot of great things going to happen to some of our great think tank content creators, man. Listen, y'all going to be happy, man. Let me just put it to you like that up in this thing. So with that being said, let me get out on that, man. I appreciate y'all. If y'all want to help the stream out, man, please feel free to go here. Yes. Don't make me bust a rap, man. That's a funky one. Anyway, feel free to check out the Pro Shop, baby. That's right. We in this thing. The Pro Shop. Check out the Pro Shop. Link in the description section below. Yeah. I would bust a rap for y'all, man, but it's kind of late, man. And maybe I'll rap like Mickey. Y'all get the Fire DA shirt, man, and the gear. It's available at the Pro Shop. Link in the description section below. Just go to the description section, hit that link. You get 25% off on gear right now during the holidays. Mickey, you gonna rap for him?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to rap here. I don't know. The guy was yelling at me on there. I was watching the game. I didn't want to be bothered, Kill. The guy told me, to fire DA. I said, stay away from me today. I'm not going. I'll think about it. I don't want to lose anymore. I'm tired, man. I ain't gonna do that right now. Shout out to the fam, man. Thank y'all for being in here, man. I'm gonna leave y'all on that note, man. Appreciate y'all, man. And we're gonna be back on the flip side of this thing, man. Much love to the fam, man. We're gonna get DA out of here, man. We're gonna get back to our winning ways, man. For real. All right, fam. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Love y'all. Keep y'all heads up. Peace. And who that to you?
Yeah. Huh? Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 huh? Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a Falcon. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on Tampa, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, fucking like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. So check out the Pro Shop and who that to.
Daily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, the WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.